this shit you're seeing on screen right now, cold approaching women, whether it be at a bar or a club, or harassing them at the gym, or chasing them down at the mall and spending all weekend hoping you're going to find the love of your life at an American Eagle and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't work. It's uncalibrated. It's a waste of time. And you already know this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be clicking on this video. You'd already have your girlfriend or your wife or whatever it is you're looking for. So in this video, we're going to talk about why cold approaching women, it just doesn't work. It's never worked. And then I'm going to talk to you about what you should do differently. So let's get into it. So first thing we need to discuss, cold approaching women is weird. Don't let them fool you. So the pickup artist types, a lot of these influencers you'll see online, I was inspired to make this video because I'd seen so many of these guys making videos about approaching women lately and talking to women and all this kind of stuff. And listen, obviously you need to talk to women, but approaching them in this way where you go up to them unsolicited, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work, and it's weird. Don't let them fool you. I don't know. This was never normal, guys, and we're going to get into that. You're basically walking up uninvited and telling a woman you want to sleep with her. This is the implication. Even if you play it cool, even if you try and be the Riz master and all this shit, the implication is clear. You're interested in her, and she has given you no sign that she is interested in you or that she wants you to approach her. It's no different than a door-to-door salesman or a vendor at a mall kiosk. You know what I'm saying? Like, a door-to-door salesman might have a product that you would be interested in, but because he knocked on your fucking door, you're just immediately not interested. If somebody knocks on my door and I can tell they're a salesman, you know what I do? I either don't come to the door or I go to the door and I tell them off. I'm just like, why are you here? Like, stop bothering me. You're interrupting me in the middle of my shit. Same if somebody calls me, right? If I get a cold call, I either don't pick up the phone or I pick it up and I cuss them out for fucking interrupting whatever I was doing and shit like that. You go to the mall and you're walking around the mall and one of these people, like these Indian people, come up to you and try and like put some shit in your pocket or like get you to try glasses on or whatever the fuck they're doing. Like all this kind of stuff, like it's just harassment and it's annoying. They are they're breaching your personal space to bother you with something they want from you, and you didn't ask them to do it. And it could be that maybe the guy who's selling some shit at the mall, maybe you actually want what he's selling. Like if you actually had the opportunity to choose it for yourself, or whatever the door-to-door salesman's offering. Maybe he's a solar panel salesman. Maybe you would actually want solar panels, but you don't want this guy, this random fucker at your door who's trying to convince you to part with your money. You don't want to deal with this. You don't know who this guy is. You have no trust in this guy. It's just weird. And it's the same when you approach a woman. You got to understand this, like this notion that women want to be approached by random men. It's not the case. Why would they want that, right? They will give you signals if they want you to approach them. This is how it goes. This is why you feel weird about approaching women without invitation, excuse me. It's not because of approach anxiety. It's because it's socially uncalibrated and you know it. This is this thing a lot of guys will tell other men to just go approach women. You've got to get over your approach anxiety. Guys, I'm here to tell you, like, approach anxiety is normal. Like that's a normal reaction. Like the reason it's normal is because it's uncalibrated. You're violating my space. I don't want people fucking walking up to me and interrupting me with shit I'm doing with my life either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. And so you're interrupting people. They haven't given you a signal that they want you to that they want you to come talk to them in any way. And you're doing this thing. It's the same, like I had a job door knocking back when COVID was going on, and I refused to wear a mask. So I was walking up to these doors. I had no mask on, and it was literally like not only that, but it was also a door knocking job for a political canvassing thing. So I was like asking people questions about if they were pro-life and this kind of shit, and like their thoughts on the election. Like, talk about just annoying people. You know what I'm saying? But I had to do it for the money. I was flat broke at the time, and so I'm going around no mask on, walking through these towns and like knocking on people's doors, asking them political questions, and everybody's mad at me every time I do it. And they'll tell you in like the cold approach kind of thing, and like this talking to women and getting over your approach anxiety, they'll tell you that, oh, the more you do it, the easier it gets and it's not a big deal. I don't think this is true, because here's what happened. I was going up and knocking on these doors and stuff like that, and you know what happened? I felt worse and worse every time it happened because I felt more and more defeated because I knew I was harassing these people. I was irritating them. They don't want to come to the door and talk to me about this shit. They don't want to deal with it. I'm ignoring their no soliciting sign because I have to knock on this door. So I feel worse and worse. The reactions I'm getting from people are all negative, and it's just like this thing. And like, it doesn't make me, it's not like after the 10th person who told me to fuck off, like I felt better. I was like, oh, let's get it. This is great. I can do this. Like, because what's happening here, it's not like approach anxiety is this thing where you're actually afraid of the person's reaction and you just need to realize you're going to survive, because that's what they'll tell you. They'll be like, you just need to go get rejected so that you realize you can live with it. It's like, I think we all know that rejection is not going to kill us, but the reason that rejection and going up and bothering somebody and then getting rejected by them bothers us is because it should bother you, because you're showing up unsolicited and trying to get someone to give you something they didn't ask to give you. It's weird. And so when I was doing this with the door knocking, I mean, I've had this when I've approached women. You know, I have approached women. I went through a pickup artist phase in my early 20s where I went and like, I was talking to all these girls and stuff. And you go out to a bar and you get blown out by a bunch of chicks. It's like the next time you talk to a girl, it's not like you feel more confident. Like, where that doesn't even make any sense. This idea that like going up and talking to women and getting rejected by them is somehow going to make you more confident. Like, in everything you do in life, it is success at that thing that gives you confidence at it. It is improving. It is learning how to do it right. So like getting rejected and all this stuff, it doesn't make any sense. Like the idea that this is somehow going to make you good with women is crashing out and being uncalibrated socially. This makes no fucking sense. This is not how this has ever been done. This is just, it doesn't make any sense, guys. If a woman wants to be approached, she will give you cues. What do I mean by this? Well, you know how when you go to, let's say you're at you're at a car lot, right? You go to the car dealership, or you go to like, I don't know, a shoe store or something like that. You walk inside, the sales rep is the first thing he's going to do is ask you if you need anything. And 99% of the time, what you're going to do is you're going to say, I'm just looking, right? Because really what you're trying to do, it's like you just want this guy to leave you the fuck alone. You're not ready to be controlled by him. You're not ready for him to try and get you to buy something. You just want to look around. And so you're always going to be like, I'm just looking right now. And then what's going to happen is you're looking through the shoe store, you see a pair of shoes you like, and you know what you're going to do? You're going to pick up the shoe and you're going to look around and you're going to try and make eye contact with one of the sales reps. And this is a cue, and you're making eye contact with the sales rep. Sales rep sees that you've made eye contact. He comes over, he says, what can I do for you? You say, I need this shoe in a size 12 or something like that. And then he goes and takes care of it for you. You gave him a cue. The cue was you looking around for like a sales rep. It's like, I'm ready to be approached now. I've done my selecting. You've given me my space. And nobody loves a pestering sales agent who, like, you're looking at the shoes or you're looking at the cars or whatever, and he won't give you a second. He just keeps coming over. Hey, you find something? What do you think of this one? Blah, blah, blah. And he just keeps interrupting your fucking feng shui. You're just going to leave. You're going to be like, get this guy away from me. I can't think. He's all over me, right? It's the same with these women, right? They will give you a cue. They will look you in your eyes and they will hold it. They will smile while they look at you. They will come near you and position themselves in such a way where it's like maybe they keep using the gym equipment right next to you, or they stand with their back to you, but they're like 2 feet away from you, and it's this thing they do. Like, they will give you these cues that they want to be approached. Online, they will give you a cue. They will like your Instagram photos. They will like your stories, all this kind of stuff. They're going to do all this stuff as cues to let you know, now I'm ready to be approached. And then all you got to do, you don't have to be slick with it at that point because they told you they want to be approached. You don't have to do all this bullshit. They will give you cues if they want to be approached. This cold approach nonsense doesn't make sense. Women say they want to be approached, but it's not what guys think. This is the other thing you're going to get. Like, sometimes you'll hear these like studies or women come out and say, I wish guys would approach me. When guys hear that, they think that what it means is that a woman wants every dude and his fucking grandpa to approach him and ask her on a date and all this shit. This is not what she wants. When she says she wants to be approached, what she means is she wants to go out to a party at her friend's house. She shows up to the party, and this super hot guy walks into the party who she doesn't know, and they eye fuck each other across the room for like 30 minutes, and then he comes over and talks to her. That's what she means when she says she wants to be approached. She does not want the dude with a beer gut and a New York Giants t-shirt on who looks like he hasn't shaved in 3 weeks to go up and talk to her. She does not want this. She does not want random creeps coming up and approaching her and interrupting her in the middle of her shit. She wants a very specific thing to happen. And this is what women call spontaneous. When she says she wants it to be spontaneous and all this, she has a very specific idea in her mind. It doesn't mean spontaneous, doesn't mean cold approach. Spontaneous means like a fucking movie. She wants it to be like, she showed up to the party, he was there, he was the life of the party, and he liked her in particular, right? Like, that's what she means by spontaneous. Like, guys have this all messed up. When they say they want to be approached, it does not mean what you think it means. And here's the thing, guys have never approached women like pickup artists do. This is this thing where, like, guys seem to think that back in the day, every man had balls of steel and just perused the town talking to every chick. Like, every guy was a Casanova. Like, he was spitting game left and right. You'll hear this kind of stuff. You'll be like, men back in the day, they would talk to women and they did. It's like, no, they didn't. They did not. Like, this is not a thing. I'm calling bullshit on this whole cold approach thing. This was never a thing. This notion that just guys were just randomly walking the town talking to women all the time. This was never a thing. Like, look at this guy's picture right here. Do you think this guy was a fucking Casanova? Do you think, guys, this is just what a normal fucking dude looked like in 1930 or something? Do you think this guy was just like going around town fucking spitting game? Do you really think that's how this worked? Like, go ask your father how he met your mother. I'm 99.9% certain it will not be he cold approached him. It will be they met at a college party. It will be they met at the fucking diner in town. It will be they met through a social group or a friend or a church group or something like that. It's always something like that. Cold approach, this notion of just going up and macking on chicks, like, it's never been a thing. This is total nonsense. Okay, it's complete bullshit. This has never been a thing. Plus, it's a total waste of time. Seriously, like, if you're doing this kind of shit right now, if you watch my channel, obviously you want more out of life. You are interested in improving yourself. You want to be a high-level man. You want to be attractive. You want to be successful financially. You want to crush it in every area of life. You're, working on yourself. If you're doing all this kind of stuff, do you really have time to be going to the fucking mall to try and meet some chick? That's a massive waste of time, guys. Like, I would feel so guilty if I just spent hours of my weekend chasing ass out at a mall. Like, it's just like, I would feel so bad. I'd be like, there's got to be better shit I can be doing. And the thing is, like, you're probably eating at home, right? If you're on a diet, if you're training, if you're trying to, like, lock in, you're probably cooking your meals at home, so you don't even go out that much. You go out to the grocery store. This is like my life most of the time. I go out to a grocery store. Unless I'm going on a date, I don't really go out to eat. So I go out to the grocery store, I'm at the gym, and then I'm pretty much working. And that's my life right now, because I'm trying to build something fucking epic, and most of you guys should be doing the same thing. You're reading self-improvement, you're studying, you're getting better. You got to lock the fuck in, especially if you're in your 20s right now. If you want to get ahead, this is what you got to do. This is the price of business. But, like, where are you even going to meet these girls? It's a total waste of time dragging you off course. This is how you end up being some crash out at 30, is because you spent every weekend out at bars and clubs trying to mac on chicks, and all you ended up with was your right fucking hand. Because this is how this goes for these guys. It does not work, okay? Are you really going to waste your evenings out getting drunk at a bar trying to meet women? Most of you guys probably don't even drink like that anymore. Like, hopefully you don't. Like, it seems like Gen Z is the first generation that has enough sense to just quit with the drinking. It's like either people drink completely to oblivion now, or they don't drink at all. Like, I don't drink at all at this point. Like, I've last time I drank was probably like 2 years ago. Seriously, it's been ages. You know what I'm saying? It's like most of us don't even do that. So, like, how does this work? This doesn't make sense. I'm going out to bars. Like, am I even going to meet a woman I want to meet there, or what? I'm going out to a mall. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why am I at a mall going into the fucking like the fucking Abercrombie and Finch store trying to meet my wife? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, this is so dumb. And how many attractive women do you see out on a daily basis? That's the other question. Like, if you don't live, like, you'll hear these like kind of like dating gurus online. They'll tell you to go approach women. The ones who really push this stuff about like pickup artistry and things like that, you'll notice that they always live in like Miami or New York or Scottsdale, Arizona, or Los Angeles. Like, one of these places, like, those are like hotbeds where like you just go out to Miami. Like, I went to Miami this winter. It was January. I went out to Miami, or February. It was February. I went to Miami and I was in Brickell and I'm walking around and I'm like, every other chick here is a 10. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like, I live in the suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's not, I look around, not every girl's a 10. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely, I see like a couple girls a week who are attractive at my gym. And then I see maybe one or two other women per week that are attractive. That's genuine. That's how this goes. Like, so how many women are you actually even seeing if you live in Duluth, Minnesota, or I don't know, Montana or some shit like that, or Kansas? Like, where are you even meeting these women? You're in Topeka, Kansas, and there's just hotties on every corner. Like, this is not a thing. So, like, the amount of energy you'd have to put into this, like, for like the average guy to go out and actually really try and approach women and do this cold approach thing and get enough reps at it to actually be successful, because you're gonna need to talk to like 100 women to get any real results at this. Like, you're going to have to drive probably 30 minutes to like some city center at best, maybe even further than that, and then just be completely out of your element and just talk to random women. And that means they're also not in your local area. Because this is just like, and we're going to discuss this here in a minute. People don't socialize the way they used to. It used to be that like we lived in a very homogenous society where it wasn't so like, it wasn't so unequal, right? Everybody was kind of similar, and like, everybody watched the same shows. We had a very homogenous culture in America. And so everybody kind of went to like the skate rink, or everybody went to the same diner, like all the people around the same age. And so like you knew where you could meet people at. But nowadays it's like everybody's on their phones and everybody has their little cliques that they hang out with, and they don't really go out to random places very much unless they're just total normies. Like, you're not going to find dimes out at like bars. And if you do, she's with her boyfriend or she's just some drunk slut. You don't want to meet her. Like, it's not a thing. You know what I mean? It's like this notion that you're just going out to random locations and meeting all these babes. It doesn't happen. Like, everybody, like, women are on their phone. Women get invited to some private event that you've never heard of from their phone. They don't go out to the random place. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is just how it goes. You'll talk to a girl who's like decently attractive and suddenly find out all this cool shit that's happening in your area that you didn't know about because you weren't on the guest list, because all the hot women get invited to it. And so that's where they're at. It's a Friday night. You're wondering where all the girls are. They're at some lake house party. This is how this goes these days, okay? Now, the last point I want to make on this before I go on to the solution to this problem is from the 48 Laws of Power. It is Law 8, and it says, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. So to approach women unsolicited is to violate the 8th Law of Power from the book, the 48 Laws of Power. You need to make other people come to you, because if you want power, you need to be the one who is approached. If you want control, so you are already, if you go approaching women, you are setting this frame up that puts you in the low status position. When you approach a woman unsolicited, you have instantly elevated her status above yours. And you clearly want something from her, and there's nothing you can do to hide that. This is another thing that cracks me up about guys with this shit, is like, they think they're slick. So many guys think they're slick with like the Riz and all this kind of shit. Like, they'll go up to a girl who they clearly are interested in, and they're trying to like get her to like them and all this stuff. And they understand that they don't want to come off too strong and like too like needy and put her on a pedestal. So they'll go up to her and be like, yo, what's up? I just wanted to see if you were cool. Or they'll say some shit like that. This is like pickup artist advice I used to hear. Is like a dating guru who's into this cold approach thing would say, like, go up to her and just be like, yo, what's up? I just wanted to see if you were cool, or something like that. Like, as if you're trying to set this frame of like, I'm the guy deciding if I like you or not. Like, that's the point of this frame. And it's like, how dumb do you think these women are? You walked up to her and just randomly were like, oh, what's up? Just want to see if you were cool or not. Like, you just sound like a cornball. Like, you sound like a fucking idiot doing this type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not fooling her. It's like, you go on a web page these days, like a sales page, and you see how like the price is always discounted. Like, it's like $119 and it's struck through and it says like $79 or something. And it's like, every fucking website has this nowadays. It's like, are you still fooled by this? This is like women with these guys. Like, how many guys have come up to her and tried to be slick, tried to act like the man, tried to do all this shit? Like, she sees right through it. She's like, you approached me, dude. Don't try to be a fucking G with me. Like, we know what's up here. You're interested in me. And she just blows them off. She just laughs at these guys. Okay, so you can't hide it. You have approached her without her saying she wanted you to approach her, and therefore you have already elevated her into the position of deciding if she wants you or not. So it doesn't make any sense. Women are attracted to men who have higher status than them. So this makes getting her attracted to you an uphill battle. So you approach her, she already now views you as having less options, less attractive than her, because now she gets to decide if she wants you. And when she's in that frame, it's kind of like, when you're on Netflix and you've got a ton of movies you can watch, you're like really picky. It's the same thing with her. She's looking at this guy now. She's just going to pick him apart. She's going to be like, he's a little bit shorter than I'd like, or his hair's not as good as I'd like, or that line wasn't all that good. She's just in this position where now she gets to be picky with you because you have positioned her as the one who gets to choose you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've positioned it in this way where she now has to, like, you've come up to her, she gets to evaluate right now, do I want to, like, tell this guy that he's not on my level, or am I interested in him? Like, that's basically what you've set up here. It's just totally dumb. The best way to attract women is to let them display some level of interest first, and then you can escalate. What does this look like? I already mentioned it. It's like she gives you strong eye contact, or she, positions herself near you, or maybe she even starts a conversation. I had this one chick, she like gave me like eye contact one time, and I just wasn't really all that interested. And so like I looked at her, I was like, whatever, and like I just kept doing my thing. And then she comes and sits down right in front of me and is just like, do you know the Wi-Fi password? It's like, we know you don't. You're not asking me for the fucking Wi-Fi password. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if they want it bad enough, they will start the conversation with you anyways. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is just, let them make the first move. This positions you appropriately so that you don't have to look like this low status guy. And this is just how it's always been. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go watch like these like old school movies, like back in the day. Like, how would men and women meet? It would be like all the women would want a husband, and the man would come in, and let's say they're having like a dance. This is the shit they used to do in like old Europe and all that stuff. They'd have some dance, right? Big formal dance. All the women are there looking for a husband, and here comes in like the captain or the knight or whatever the fuck, some high status guy that all the women wanted from back in the day. And they all like tried to position themselves near him so that he would ask them to dance and stuff like that. And nowadays, how does it work? You're the like you're the king of the frat party, or you're like the life of the party, or whatever it is. You position yourself in this way, like you're high status on social media, you live a ballin' lifestyle, you do these things, and women start giving you signals. They like your Instagram posts over and over again. They like, not only do they like one, but they go back and like all of them. They like your story. They might even DM you first, or they position themselves near you when you're out. They do all this shit to try and get in front of you when they're interested in you. This is how it's always been. So you let them display the first move. Women are subtle with this. They're usually not going to directly tell you what they want. So you just got to read the signals, but let them make that first move. They used to call this handkerchief. It was like handkerchiefing or something like that. Like, a woman would see a man she was interested in, and she would drop her handkerchief so that he could pick it up and then start a conversation with her and be like, you dropped your handkerchief. And this was the way that they approached, right? Like, this has always been the way this is. It's so uncalibrated and weird for you to just talk to a woman who gave you no sign of interest. I'm not saying it can never work, but it's just such a waste of time, and there are so many better ways to do this. And I want to put this on here. Dan Bilzerian, undisputedly like the king of getting girls, I would say. In his book, Dan Bilzerian admitted to being bad at gaming women because he never approaches women first. Like, there was this story in the book where he was going to play in a movie, and one of the scenes in the movie is like he had to like flirt with Cameron Diaz, and like the director of the movie had gotten Dan for the role because he figured Dan, being this ladies man, could just spit a bunch of game. And he goes in there and he's like, I have no idea how to flirt with this chick because I never flirt with chicks. Like, this is what he said, and he talks about this in the book. He said, I never do this. I never approach women. I never do this kind of stuff. Instead, he said he focused on setting up a dynamic where women pursued him and he was viewed as the prize. So he would just sit back and chill. Again, 48 laws of power, that 8th law, make people approach you. He would make people approach him. He would set it up this way. So the women were fighting for him. And this is how you get this done correctly. Like, if you have women who are already interested in you, or you have certain attraction triggers that you're displaying, it's just like your life's way easier. You don't have to do all this nonsense. And it's just way more strategic than being this guy running around crashing out all over the place trying to get women to be interested in him. It's just silly, guys. So to sum it up, approaching women is uncalibrated, weird, a waste of time, and low status. That's just that's the bottom line of it, guys. Don't let these guys fool you. You need to do something different. And this is what you need to do. This is the different stuff. Step one, get jacked. Okay. Seriously, you got to get in the gym. Physical attraction is more important than ever. If you want to attract women in 2025, like, you got to be in great shape, guys. It is such an advantage. You got to understand that women no longer need like the beta male provider. I've made videos on this topic. I made the one, it was the new rules of dating in 2025, I think is what the video is called. Go watch that video if you want to understand what I'm talking about here. But like, basically, women no longer need a man to like provide like financially. They can do that. It's like the beta side of hypergamy has already been taken care of for women at this point. All they need now is just a hot guy. Seriously, like that. And so they're selecting for hot men more and more than ever. It's like the most important thing to them at this point. And so you need to be in shape. This is such an advantage. I mean, look at this right here. Like, this is what the average guy looks like. If you look like this right here, it's the biggest advantage you can give yourself. Seriously, they say like a fit body is rarer than a Rolex at this point. And it probably is, truthfully. Like, I saw a statistic, only 2.7% of Americans live a healthy lifestyle, meaning that they follow a diet, they're in decent shape, or like they're not overweight, that is, and they exercise regularly. That's not even much of a bar to hit right there. And that's only 2.7% of Americans. Like, if you get a physique like this, you get in great shape, you're already well past top 1%. That's seriously, like, it's not that crazy of a thing. It's just such a like low bar to hit, but it blows everybody out. And it's such a game changer, guys. It's an absolute essential. Focus on actually being attractive, and you'll find that something crazy happens. Women will be attracted to you. This is this thing that kills me too with like the approaching women thing, is it's like this big game where guys are like trying to find hacks and tactics to get a woman to like them. And it's like, dude, just be attractive. I saw a video recently that was popping off. It was called like just focus on being hot or something like that. And it's kind of a silly title. I don't completely agree with it, but I agree with it to a large degree. Is like, you just need to focus on being attractive. Like, just do that. Like, what is with all the gimmicks? It's kind of like, if you were in business and your product sucked, and so you spend all your time trying to like market it or sell. It's like a used car salesman who's selling some shit car and trying to convince somebody it's a great car. That's basically what you're trying to do if you're unattractive and you're trying to like do all these tricks and stuff to get a woman to like you. It's like, just be attractive. Just focus on it. And seriously, if you get jacked, you will be attractive. I've never met someone who was jacked who wasn't at least decently attractive. Are you going to be a runway model? Probably not, but seriously, you're going to be above average just by doing that. It's across the board. I'm telling you, it always works. Even if you're short, real talk, like if you're short but you're in shape, you're going to look better than a guy who's taller than you but he's out of shape. It's how it is, guys. Like, because all physical attraction really is displays of health. And so you being in great shape is a giant display of your health. And this is why women are attracted to it. It's a cue for health. And this is what our biology is looking for. This is why men like women with the certain waist to hip ratio and things like that. It's because of a certain attraction that it generates, because it's supposed to signal health. This is because women hold certain body fat in certain places, which is a sign of fertility, okay? This is all biological stuff. So health is a huge dictator of your physical attraction, and that's why being in great shape is a massive physical attractor, okay? Number two, step two, high status photography. Massive game changer right here. You got to understand, women live on their phones. Like I said, people are not out at fucking diners or bars like they used to be. They're doing different shit. Like this kind of thing, like this is how people used to meet, right? This is when guys think that people cold approached. It's not how it went. What it was like everybody lived in their little small town, and everybody kind of went to the same places, and you saw the same cliques, right? You saw everybody at the same, college party, or the same town high school party, or the same restaurant diner kind of place that everybody in a certain age cohort would hang out at. And this meant that you built this little social network where you knew people, and this is how you met women, right? Because everybody was hanging out at these certain spots. It was a skating rink. It was something like that. This is not the modern day equivalent of this is Instagram. Women hang out on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, and listen, I know this is annoying. I'm not telling you it's like I love the fact that you're supposed to sit on your phone all day. I still don't sit on my phone all day, but The point is, like, if you're not active on this, if you don't have a presence on social media, like, you're cooked when it comes to meeting women. Seriously, this is the modern day equivalent of where you meet women. This is how this is done, okay? And this is what most guys right here, this is what most guys look like on Instagram. This fucking guy right here, seriously, like, it's some creepy ass shit. It's like nobody's attracted to this, right? And it's just like I feel for guys because a lot of them just quite don't understand it. Well, truthfully, in this case, I don't know what the fuck this guy was thinking, but like, like, let's say this case right here, these guys right here. I feel for guys because they think this is a good picture, but this is just not something that women are interested in. You just look like some normie ass dude at a football game, right? And it's like, I'm sure these guys are nice guys, but like they just don't understand how to be the guy who attracts women through pictures. This is why you need high status photography. But it's like, this is your competition. And most guys look unattractive. They look like molesters, or they look like normie ass dudes on Instagram, or they just look like they don't exist. It's one of those kinds of things. And you need to change this up. You need to prioritize this. If you get jacked and get high status photography, you're literally ahead of 99.9% of men right there. If you don't have good pictures, you basically don't exist. This is something I heard from Michael Sartain was saying this. He said there's no middle class Instagram for men, meaning like, a woman can just have like decent pictures of herself up and like guys will be interested. But like for a guy, it's either you look like a fucking creep or you look like a G. It's one of those two. Seriously, like you're just like, if you don't have the right pictures up, you just don't exist to these women. They're just literally not interested. And I know that's annoying, guys, but seriously, like it's just the way it is. Even if you cold approach a woman, she's going to stalk your Instagram before she decides to go on a date with you. Let's say that you get her number and she finds out your name. You know what she's going to do? She's going to look you up on Instagram. The same way that, if you buy a product, like usually you go look the company up on Instagram. I haven't bought an online product without looking at the company's Instagram in years, right? Like, because it's just like, you're like, is this person real? That's what you're thinking, right? I usually, if I'm going on a date with a girl, even if I met her on a dating app or if I met her in person or something like that, I will still go look her up on Instagram because I just want to see what this person's about. So like, that's what she's going to do. And if she goes on there and you look like a fucking creep, she's not going to be interested. She's going to ghost you, right? Like this is a huge indicator to them. This is how you present yourself as having status. You need pictures that convey one of four things. Those being access to scarce resources, meaning something of status, some sort of location. Even being in great shape is a scarce resource. And so having physical scarcity like that is a form of scarce resources. But cool locations, having some money, you're on a boat in a picture, you're on a jet ski, you're in a cool location, you're traveling, these kinds of things. This is access to scarce resources. Physical attraction, so you're just good looking, you're dressed well, you're, in shape, right? You've got a nice body. Pre-selection or status, meaning other women. You've got photos that have other women in them, and you got to do this in a calibrated way. I think most guys do this in this super like forced way where like you'll see a guy in a picture, he's got two girls with him, and like he kind of forced the picture on them. They're not even really interested in him, and he's like posing with two girls, and it's just like he's like, look at me on this shit. Like he's so fucking happy he got this picture. That's weird. Like you want to do this in a candid way, which makes it kind of difficult to get pre-selection photos because not only does it have to be you and the girl, but you have to get somebody who can take the picture so that it's candid, right? Otherwise, it just looks super fucking forced when you do this, in my opinion. But you can display status and pre-selection. This is another trigger that you can do. Masculine archetype. This is the other one. And so let's get into, I'll explain how these work. Like here's some example pictures, right? So these pictures, they display different attraction triggers, right? So like this top one here, the fitness picture, you're like cool location. I would tell you that's access to scarce resources. It kind of looks like a high vibe, like high status kind of place to work out. Physical fitness, access to scarce resources, and also being in physical shape. So it's physical attraction. This middle picture right here, high status location, that would be access to scarce resources. This picture on the bottom, I mean, me boxing, right? That would be, I would tell you, both masculine archetype and it would also be physical attraction, things like that. So, and also, what do I mean by masculine archetype? Essentially, like you want to create a story in a woman's head about who you are with these pictures, right? If it's just like you sitting on a couch in an apartment, it's just, it doesn't really hit, right? Like a man's attraction is all about the context of the man, right? Like you can be like, you could be the most attractive guy, but if the context of you doesn't really work, then it's you're going to be hindered, right? It's like a handicap, So like context means like a woman wants you to be in shape, but she wants it to look like it was nonchalant. She wants it to look like you didn't try to be in shape, like you just happen to be in fantastic shape. She doesn't want you to look like you're trying to show off the Corvette. It's just you happen to drive a Corvette. Like, and so you have to pose the pictures in such a way where it's kind of like this cool thing going on and you just happen to be there. It's like this really attractive guy that you just happen to be, or this really high status location that you just happen to be in. Like this is all context, and your masculine archetype is the character within this context. I know this might sound complicated, but this is like, you'll see women, like they like certain characters, right? There was the story, the A Billion Wicked Thoughts book that the Google developers made, and it talked about like they did this massive data search of all of women's sexual preferences when they looked at like what women were interested in when it came to like the erotic literature, the kind of things they looked at, stuff like that. And they found that what women were interested in were one of five people. It was a billionaire, a pirate, a surgeon, a werewolf, and I can't remember what the fifth one was, but it's like these archetypes, right? And so this is what they would watch movies about. This is what they would search for, like erotic fantasies and things like that. Like women like these certain characters. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're interested in this kind of persona of a man and like his context. And so what we're talking about when we say context and we say masculine archetype is she wants to get this idea in her head of your masculine character. And so you can see by these pictures and then these right here, it displays a certain character. Right? Like there's like, you get a sense of who I am from this, basically. You're like, okay, these are very active pictures. I'm in different locations. I'm usually on the go, it looks like, or I'm driving this jet car here. So it just looks like I'm doing shit. I'm boxing, I'm working out, I'm walking around, I'm traveling. Like it gives you this idea of who I am. I'm in shape, right? So you get this like, he's very athletic, kind of masculine, a bit of just like high energy, on the go kind of guy, very active, very go-getter kind of energy that I give off. Like this is a masculine character. This is archetype. These three pictures right here, this one of me doing in the jet car right here, this is clearly a display of access to scarce resources. The one in the middle, again, access to scarce resources on the boat dock. And here's the funny thing about this. This boat dock picture was literally free. I don't own that boat. I just happened to be out at this dock and I just took a picture like that. But it still displays it, right? And I posted this picture on Instagram and I had a couple girls DM me from it. Genuinely, guys, I'm telling you, this shit works. This one right here, I'm just traveling in a cool location. I happen to be in fantastic shape as well. Make yourself attractive, meaning just get jacked, guys. Seriously, just do that. Just do that before you count yourself out, guys. Like before you count yourself out in life, get jacked, okay? And get high status photos of yourself. Do those two things, and then you use this right here. This is how you're gonna meet women. Seriously, way better version. I know you might be like, I don't want to do this kind of stuff. I don't want to use Instagram. I'm like, I would much rather do that than be an incel or spend my time, hunting down women at a bar or a club or some shit like that. I'd much rather do it this way. Okay. So use Instagram and use dating apps. This is the best way to meet women because it's calibrated, meaning that if you just post good pictures of yourself and you're an attractive guy, it's calibrated. Women will give you those passive signals of interest, and then you can do with them what you will. They will like you on the dating app. They will like your photo on Instagram. Like they'll do this kind of stuff. It's efficient, meaning that you don't have to go waste your time, right? I hate wasting time. I treat my dating life very much like a business. I'm like, how can I do this very efficiently? I literally view Instagram and dating apps like the marketing arm of my business, which is my sex life, and I am the product. That's how I view this. I'm like, how can I just do this super efficiently? Because I don't want to waste my fucking time with this. You know what I mean? And so it's efficient, right? You can just on your phone, all the women are on the dating apps. You just sit back, you swipe through a bunch of them, you get some matches, you go on dates when you're ready, all that stuff. Same with Instagram, it works the same way. So it positions you, it's positions you as high status as well. So you don't have, like, you've got pictures that obviously make you stand out over other guys. You're obviously in better shape than the average guy. So you've got all these things working in your favor, right? And then there's plenty of options. Like I said, if you're in a random town, like you're not going to find a lot of women out at just like random places. But if you're on the dating app, it is just a concentrated, it's a concentration of them because they're all on there, right? And so you go on the app and you have a bunch of options right there from the comfort of your home. You don't have to do shit. So it's calibrated, efficient, positions you as high status, and there's plenty of options. This is how you do this. This is the best way to do it. Just focus on being attractive and get good pictures. So that's the game for attracting women. If you want to get them, you do not approach them. you position yourself as attractive so that they can then give you signals that they're interested in you, and then you can do what you want with those signals. Now, from here, if you want to learn how to become the guy that she tells you not to worry about, meaning the guy that gets the WID text at 1 a.m., the guy who just does it for her, you'll want to click this video that's on screen right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.